This is our annual celebration of Veterans Day, and it's the 102nd anniversary of the armistice, which for most of us who aren't old enough to remember what that was for the end of World War One. It is an understatement to say that many folks who go into the military, go in under very difficult circumstances, are asked to do what is only dangerous and dangerous work that puts themselves in the line of fire and puts their lives at risk. And yet they do this job, and they do this unwaveringly. They understand what their role is, and they do this with a great amount of pride. And many times when they come home, other than, the celebrations like, Veterans Day, they often don't get the same kind of treatment or the kind of treatment you would expect from people who would put their lives on the line for their country. And they struggle with access to health care. They've struggled with recognition of consequences of having been in contact. They struggle with PTSD. They bring back consequences of their service to this country. I know in Montgomery County, we have our own Veterans Affairs Office. We've worked with the federal government to extend services to veterans here. We are acutely aware, and I know Ike took the lead on this along with Mike Subin, to make sure the county provided a better home and a better responsiveness to the needs of veterans. So this proclamation recognizes their service to the country. It recognizes their dedication and their willingness to make the ultimate sacrifice if they were called on to do that, if in their minds it meant that they were making this country safe. So I just want to express my sincere appreciation of their dedication and commitment, and hope that Montgomery County continues to provide and expand the kind of services that provide people what I believe they deserve for the service they provided the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. County Executive. It was well said. I too, and I'm going to call on Wayne Miller, the chair of the Montgomery County Commission on Veterans Affairs, who's going to be accepting the proclamation. But I just wanted to say that, so many times we take for granted many things in the United States, but especially in Montgomery County. We take for granted that everything that we have should just be there. And of course, that's not correct. I mean, just the fact that we're able to have a discussion is because someone fought for the freedom of speech. The fact that we had an election last week is because someone fought that we should have that freedom as well. The democracy is something that we take for granted in the United States, but I can tell you there are many countries that do not have that same form of freedom. And the reason we have it is because someone risked their lives to make certain that each of us will continue to have that wonderful thing that we don't always think about. And so with that, and the proclamation says so much, and we're going to get to that in just 2 seconds. But Mr. Miller, if you would please say a few words. You're on mute. There, you were off mute for a second. You're still on mute. Try it one more time, please. There you go.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to thank the county exec and the county council. It is a true honor for me to accept this proclamation on behalf of all the veterans, their families, and the Montgomery County Commission on Veterans Affairs. During these times of COVID, veterans may face many challenges. Montgomery County cares about you. We want to let you know there is help for these challenges. The Silver Spring Vet Center, Department of Veterans Affairs, the Montgomery County Community-Based Outreach Clinic, Department of Veterans Affairs, and several other organizations are there for you. There are services such as mental and physical wellness, suicide prevention. There's a pledge that we can all sign to help with suicide prevention, recreational programs, and housing resources. Montgomery County Commission on Veterans Affairs worked with the dedication of a Vietnam Veterans Memorial on Memorial Plaza, the accessible boat launch at Seneca Creek, Riley Lock, and also our home front public broadcasting that we deal with veterans' concerns. And on the opening of the VA's community-based outreach clinic in Gaithersburg. I'd like to say for myself and all the Marine Corps out there, today is our birthday, 245th. I'm a severely combat wounded Vietnam veteran myself, and I am a Marine. And also I'd like to say happy Veterans Day. God bless America. And again, thank you so much for the proclamation.
Thank you. And with that, Mr. County Executive, would you like to start off the proclamation?
I would. Let me grab it again because it disappeared under the other proclamation.
All right.
I know it's come back here. Proclamation. This is what happens when you have too many windows open on the screen.
Well, we understand how that works as well.
Bear with me here.
Okay.
That's not it. I clicked on, there it is. Okay. Whereas this year, Veterans Day marks the 102nd anniversary of the armistice, and we again pay tribute to the generations upon generations of Montgomery County residents who have served with courage and loyalty in every major United States military conflict since 1776. And
you just froze.
I froze.
Yeah, do it again, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas this year, Veterans Day marks the 102nd anniversary of the armistice, and we again pay tribute to the generations upon generations of Montgomery County residents who have served with courage and loyalty in every major United States military conflict since 1776. And
whereas we will never be able to repay the debt we owe the brave men and women who have served in the uniformed services of the United States, and we recognize the military service of those who have served in the armed forces. And
whereas a grateful county recognizes that service members may have a challenging transition to civilian life, and we, along with the Commission on Veterans Affairs, seek to promote mental health and physical wellness by supporting greater seamless access to mental health programs, suicide prevention, recreational programs, and housing resources for service members and their families. And
whereas we commend the work of the Commission on Veterans Affairs for the work to have a Vietnam Veterans Memorial dedicated on Memorial Plaza, the establishment of an accessible launch at Seneca Creek at Raleigh's Lock, and also having the Washington, D.C. VA Medical Center establish a community-based outpatient clinic in Gaithersburg, Maryland, where veterans now have access to quality primary health care closer to home. Now, therefore, do we, Mark Elrich as County Executive and Sidney Katz as County Council President of the Montgomery County, Maryland, do hereby proclaim November 11, 2020 as Veterans Day in Montgomery County, Maryland. We pay tribute to those who have ever worn the uniform, and we call upon all residents to recognize the sacrifice and pay tribute to our thousands of county residents who are veterans and their families today and every day. And it's signed by County Executive Elrich and by me on today. Thank you very much, Mr. Miller, and thank you and all veterans for everything that you are doing each and every day. Thank you very much.
thank you all.